Assalamualaikum and good afternoon everyone.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, I hope everyone will be fine on our meeting today. Our objective to discuss on recruitment and selection to replace Mr. Daniel Alfonso on product development executive position. So are you ready, team?
I'm ready, Miss Wani.
I'm ready, Miss Wani.
Alright, we will start with Miss Syafiqah on job description and job specification of product development executive. Please welcome.
Thank you, Miss Wani. Okay, I will start share my screen. So, everyone see?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, I can see. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Assalamualaikum everyone. Today, me, HR Officer 1, will be explaining more about the job description and specification. So, the first one is the step in job analysis. As you all can see here, there is like 6 points here. So, the first point is use of the information. We will be collect data from Mr. Daniel Alfonso itself and also from people that work closely with him under product development department. The information that we have collected will be used to understand more about his scope job, and we will create a job description and job specification so it will be easier for the future person that will be replacing him. The second one is we will be reviewing the background information. For this, I will be reviewing overall of the product development department information such as organization chart and scope job that they do under this department. Job description also will be one of important data that I will look for, as this will be showing the specific tasks of each person position. So this is the example of the chart. The third point is we will be selecting a representative position. So throughout the journey of observing Mr. Alfonso's position as a product development executive, at the same time I will pick a few workers who work on the same line as Mr. Alfonso. We will be pick around 10 jobs and I will be analysed as they will be helpful for the job description and specification later. So number 4, we will be analysing the job that we will have picked earlier from the selective representative position, and analysis will be done in a way that I'll be collecting data from them. I'll be seeing their working condition, abilities and what activity they do for their position in the company. There will be also a few questions that will be asked to them to have more understanding about their job. The fifth one is we'll be verifying the information. After choosing a representative position and analysing their job, we will need to verify all the collected information with their supervisor. This is an important step as this will be the last step before I will be doing a complete job description and specification for future worker. The last one is I will be develop a job description and job specification. After completing all the steps above, I can develop a complete job description and job specification for the position. This job description and specification will help future people that will take his position and understand more on how things work inside and outside of the company. So the next one is the method that will be used to conduct the job analysis. The first one is questionnaire. As you all know, the current situation of pandemic would be hard for us to communicate too much with people. So questionnaire would help us to conduct the job analysis. This is because it is the easiest to handle and could save a lot of time. Mr. Alfonso himself can just answer this when he has free time and it wouldn't disturb his working hour. The platform that I will be using is Google Form as it's easier to understand. The second one is observation. Since I will work closely with Mr. Daniel Alfonso, it will be easier for me to understand more about his scope of jobs. Since he will be working with many people inside and outside of the company, this will help me to know his task as a product development executive. So, the next one is the job description and the job specification. So, this is I will remind of you all, this is not a complete yet, because when we have found a representative to replace his place, I will make a full complete of this job description and specification. So the job title is Product Development Executive for HUSSEIN dan Berhad. The second is the main duties of this position is creating a fresh merchandise that will fill a particular need for our own for the company and for client to be sold or to make a profit. The third one is relationship. This position will work with many people inside and outside of the company, as this position is important for the product development sector. This is a few of responsibilities and duties. There will be obviously research for new product enhancement and product redesign. They will also creating and enhancing product that fit a niche in the market or allow their clients to remain competitive. They will also be reviewing and maintenance of fee and rebate payment calculated by the fund administrator. This is authority of this job holder. Most of the decision will be discussed with the top management. This position also will be a representative to present the idea from the middle management. So the standard of this position performance, they will always need to be ready with some new idea for the client or the company. They will also need to consult with the market research team on the material to ensure it will be competitive and viable. So viable here means capable of working successfully. The next one is working condition. They can work on a variety of settings depending on the type of product that being developed at that time. They will also need to work in excess of 40 hours per week and most likely will continue the job at home during night or during weekends. And most of the time, they will be working outside of the company depending on the clients and what product we will be doing. So the next one is job specification. The first one is knowledge, skill and abilities required to do the job. They will need to have strong understanding with Microsoft Office, attention to detail and excellent organization ability, comfortable to use design software. The second one is educational qualification and work experience required. At least 2 years experience within a similar product development related role and educated to bachelor degree level. The next one is physical requirement of the job. They need to have a good stamina since most of the time we will be walking and standing during the working hours. The next one is personality requirement. They will need to have a good communication skill and excellent written and spoken English. The last one is career path. The first one is associate product manager. Associate product manager will do everything the manager. The next one is product manager. There will be a go-to resource for other things, and the second one is point person for the product team related to the product. And the last one is senior product manager. They can be counted when making a decision, and they will be responsible for communicating with the product strategy teams. So I finished my part. Any question from Miss Wani and others?
Note, just to make it clear, the method you use is questionnaire and observation, right?
Yes, Miss Wani, that is correct.
Alright, note for that. I hope everyone will take notes on the method to further process. So next, please welcome Miss Husna to review recruitment process.
Okay. Let me share my screen first, okay? Anyone can see everybody? you see the screen that I shared?
All right, it's appear now.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, sorry, my bad. First of all, thank you to Miss Syafiqah. That's a good presentation over there. So today I will explain and make it short from what is I stated here, which is I am responsible to make a recruitment process for product development executive for replacing Mr. Daniel Alfonso that will be end of this month. Okay, first and foremost is recruitment process is for our company choose to recruit the local external applicants for these jobs position, which is product development executive that will replacing the Mr. Daniel Alfonso for this month. So why we choose local external candidates for the job position? First of all, we can select from more candidates outside the company and explore a much larger pool of the candidates for the position we needed. That will increase chances of finding and qualified successful applicant for better selection and find candidates with the right education and experience for the job position looking for. Okay, for my second reason is finding a specialized candidate. Searching outside the organization can allow us, our company, AKHIRUDDIN, to find a candidate who has more relevant experience and training for the job offer. Using only internal has limited option for us to qualify who has specialized in particular area, which is product development executive. That will lead increasing for training costs. Finding external candidates make us to focus on our search on applicants who already have specialized training and experience the position required. And for the next point is also make our company stay competitive, because when we hiring new employees, can bring in ideas, strategies from their previous experience, which may help our company to improve organization practice. With these two, the candidates can provide insights from other companies or industry that can apply to the company, with keeping up with current trends that will keep the company, which is Akia, Senior Berhad, competitive than other companies. Okay. Next is for method of attracting external candidate for applicant. First one is advertising. Why we choose for the method of attracting external candidate for application? The first one is we choose advertising. Even though advertising is classified as a traditional method because it has been used by in the back of the year, but this is the most common and preferred source of external recruiting. For example, like for local newspaper, professional journals, or even magazines. This gives a comprehensive detail about the organization, such as type and needs of the job position, skills required for the job, qualification for experience expected, salaries, and more. And next, this will help an individual to self-evaluate against the job requirements. Either they can apply to it or not, and apply for the job position in our company if the job suits them. So for my next point is recruiting by internet. Our company choose to recruit the job position from the online job portals such as JobStreets and Indeed website, because this means we will search and screen the prospective candidates electronically. This is reasonable for candidates to upload the resume online so that we can find the potential hires. This is much more easier. And this method is currently used by many companies nowadays that will receive good and faster response at less cost than the employees. These days, many people are getting more familiar with this method and know how to use this method correctly and in good way, especially for the younger generation now. Job seekers submitted to participating employees that use standardized applications keywords to identify the available candidates more easily, which is from us. Next is the example for the website, this is the Indeed website that I screenshot from the using a mobile phone. So this is much more easier for us to know who is the suits to the job, and the candidates can apply from here too. Okay. And next is for the job stream. The job stream website that also the candidates can apply here and choose wherever they want this job or not. Okay, next is the point of method that we use to, which is the last one, which is the employment agencies such as career service. For the reason why our company Agency Berhad using an agency is because we want to cut down on interviewing time, because interviewing will have a lot of time and maybe the interviewer exhausting, so we want to cut off that. So and next, for our company must fill the vacancy quickly for Mr. Daniel Alfonso's job position, which is the product development executive, because we will leave at the end of this month, so we need to be quick and faster for find the suit candidates for this job. And for the last reason why we choose this employment agency to find the suit candidates, because even the charge fees for each applicant we place, but we still consider it because we want to shorten the time for hiring new. Okay, this is example for advertisement poster for product development executive position, which is the company here stated here, and this is I have tagged we are hiring for the product development executive, so the candidates can know what the job that they have to apply, they want to apply before the interviewing and apply for the job itself. So we stated here that have benefits like allowance, medical treatment, for the salary, which is 500 to 40,000. Qualification, the candidates suit the qualification or not, so they can evaluate themselves. For the requirement, we need 2 years above experience and urgently needed. So the candidates will apply as soon as possible. So the candidates here can email their resume to our company mail, or even apply on the JobStreet website, which is the required to send their resume to, but from the JobStreet itself, not directly to our company email. So this is our company address. Maybe the candidates want to know where our company is. Okay. So for the next is example of a good resume from the candidate. Okay, so here I state one of the resume that is good. For example, this is Kasih Alisha Binti AKHMAD. Okay, so she stated the objective, the summary of that she put on the resume. she even have address, mobile phone, email, so the personal information that we can contact her, easily contact her. So, and next for skills and proficiencies, so we can know what is her skills and proficiency that she has, like social media marketing, interpersonal communication skill, content development, and she even fluent in Chinese and professional in French. So I think it will be an advantage for her to apply this job. And next for volunteering work and certification. For example, here she state she is a digital marketer for River Children's Foundation, and second one for digital marketing specialization certificate, contact and email marketing certificate. So I think it's good because she state here what she do, what she got, something like that. And she also state the work experience, such as the first work experience here is digital marketer, social media manager, and also okay, so for work experience, so we can see here that Kasih Alisha have worked as a lead digital marketer at Lead Paper and Corporation. Next is for social media manager for Blush and Bloom Cosmetics. And for the current, I think, for the marketing executive at Strategia Branding. So it's good because she stated that what work experience she had in the resume. So it's good. And we can easily contact the maybe the companies. We can know how she worked there, how she's good in the job that she have. So for educational background, she also states that she have a diploma in business studies at BINTI International College, and for bachelor's degree in arts in product management for University of Applied Science, and for the last educational background that she has is master's degree in integrated marketing communication in infrastructure University Kuala Lumpur. This is a example for a good resume that I showed to you. Okay, next for the application form. Okay, I stop presenting first because the application form has a different product development and certificate application form that I made using the Google form, which is the candidates can fill in to the application form before the interviewing session. So here is the example that the application form looks like. This is the job position. The next is their they can fill in their personal information, full name, IC number, age, gender, address, or status, married or unmarried. And next for job position and description. This is we can know whether the candidates know the job position that they apply or not. And start their salary expectation, whether they have applied at the IKEA Sulaiman or not, the job position and job description, whether they know or not, basic technology like the Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and more. Okay, next for the education, the high school, number of years attended at the high school, whether they graduated or not, college or university, obvious standard, graduated or not, area of study, for example, I study in UMAIRAH, and for maybe the candidates have in the technical or other school, so they can fill here, number and years of attendance as the above. Okay, same. For skills and qualification, I state whether they can fill in whatever skills that they have, which is the soft skills or hard skill, or the qualification they have, so they can write in here. Okay. So for the current employment, the job position, salary, who their name of current employment, or if they don't have, they can state none. Reason for their living, start date, end date, and their current work, and the patient, either the HR management can contact the company or not, previous employer that they have worked before, the current employer, same as the current employer. Okay, for the reference, we can state one reference which is required, which is the star, the red star here, which is the required. They have to fill in the application form. Okay, for name of reference, relationship with the candidate, phone number, their email, and for the reference to each option, they can fill in if they have or not. Okay, I think that's all for the application form. Next is for Sarah. Thank you for your participating to hear my explanation and presentation.
Alright, Husna, may I know what application used to prepare the resume? Not only Microsoft Word, right?
Yes, it's not only Microsoft Word. We can use the Canva template for resume, because Canva we can search on online, and we either can use the online resume template which we can find easily, but we have to make sure the website is trusted, correct, because there are many resume templates out there, because it's easy to have that nowadays.
I see. Nowadays, many tools that we can use, right? Thank you so much, Miss Husna. Now, I would like to invite Miss Sarah for selection process.
I'm Sarah Nabilah binti Sulaiman as HR Officer 3. First of all, I want to thank Ms. Husna for the presentation earlier. I'm the person in charge for the selection process for new officer to replace Mr. Daniel Alfonso on Product Development Executive position. So first, I will explain about the type of test that will be used. Type of tests that we want to the candidates for the position are performance tests. A performance test is employed to make sure that a candidate has the talent that he claims to possess. Actual condition and tasks to be performed on the job are stimulated by performance tests. Machine usage tests, keyboarding tests, language tests, and computer usage tests are samples of such tests. Next, we use personality and interest tests. These personality tests are quite effective in revealing information about a few persons' value system, emotional reactivity, maturity, and typical mood. Self-confidence, tact, emotional control, optimism, sociability, conformity, objectivity, passion, fear, distrust, impulsiveness, sympathy, stability, self-confidence, and integrity are samples of these characteristics. These interest tests are inventories of candidates' likes and dislikes in terms of work, job, occupation, hobbies, and recreational activities. The aim of this test is to work out whether a candidate is interested or disinterested within the job that is he's applying. Yet because the area of the work range or occupation during which the candidate is interested. Then we use intelligence tests. In general, intelligence tests are accustomed to determine candidates' IQ. This examination assess capacity for comprehension, reasoning, word fluency, verbal comprehension, numbers, memory, and spatial awareness in great detail. Other characteristics include forward and backward digit spans, knowledge, comprehension, language, visual organization, and object assembly. We decided to choose local should be taken because of knowledge of the local culture and business practices. Local candidates are familiar with the culture in which they live. That means they will be able to deal with potential issues more easily. This usually translates to increased productivity and less financial loss. Also, locals are fluent in the language and can manage workers using local resources. When it comes to running a productive workforce, communication is crucial. In other words, each employee will understand exactly what you mean and will follow your orders without fail. Next, cost much less than expats. Hiring an expat can cost up to 2.5 times as much as hiring a local. The cost of living in expat's home country includes everything from the expat regular wage to relocation expenses, as well as language and cultural training. Those expenses, by the way, do not just apply to the expats, but also to the expat family. Hiring an expat should also be considered based on the subsistence allowance, which includes a double bonus compared to locals. For example, if the company sales are higher than usual, then hiring local is reduce your overall requirement cost. The company does not need to spend hours sifting through resume to decide who to interview. However, it is not only the requirement cost that can be reduced. Onboarding and training costs will be significantly reduced as the employee will already understand how your company operates and will be well versed in the job positions. That's all from me. So now looking forward for your question so that everyone will understand the process.
Miss Sarah, can you tell me what are the benefits of taking local candidate to the company?
Thank you, Miss Misha, for your question. So I will answer your question. So the other benefits of taking local candidates to the company are the local encourage a variety of ways to promote the company's product according to the local culture. Local requirement indicates a more diverse workforce. This also increases the company's opportunity to expand its business to internationally and in various ways. For example, sales will increase because buyers will support products made by local businesses. As a result of the increased number of customers, trust in the product grows and spread faster, as well as attracting the interest and trust of international customers to purchase the product. That's all from me. So I will pass this meeting to Miss Misha.
I see. Thank you, Miss Sarah.
Yes, I have think too there will have a good arrangement due to local taken. Thank you to Miss Sarah and Misha for the questions. Next, please welcome Miss Misha to explain about interview session.
Thank you, Miss Wani, and thank you, Miss Sarah, for the explanation of the selection process. Let me share my slide first. The interview session. So to my fellow friends, Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon. Today, I'm as the HR officer 4 are going to discuss the interview session that I'm going to conduct. Allow me to begin by displaying the table of content. As shown in the table of content, Today, I want to emphasize four key points: the types of interviews, how to conduct the interview, how to avoid making mistakes during the interview, and how to avoid concern of nepotism and discrimination. Let us go to the following slide. First, for the first point is types of interview. I would recommend utilizing structured interview question throughout the interview session. Structured interview question will be used to interview applicants since they are more work-related and will assist in analyzing the characteristic of each candidate that predict job performance. The structured interview question is fair to all candidates because it stops me as the interviewer from passing judgment on the candidate based on their race, physical appearance, gender, religion, or comparable personal characteristic to mine. Structured interview questions are twice as effective as unstructured interview questions at identifying a potential candidate based on their capabilities, behavior, and recommendations for resolving the problem or assisting the organization in becoming more successful in the future. By employing structured interview question, the probability of selecting an outstanding candidate rises, since they will bring extra benefits to the organization, such as the ability to work effectively in a team and be productive in their current job. If the firm is sued for not giving all the candidates an equal chance, the structured interview question can adequate proof to defend the company in court. Next point, how do I administer the interview? I will conduct the interview in an individual interview approach. It will be conducted during the interview session with only one candidate and myself on the platform. This technique may aid me as the interview in generating a direct response from the applicant in response to the question, as well as extracting a more specific response or requiring the candidate to explain their response further to verify they did not misunderstand the question. Because the session is totally private, I have complete control over the setting. It enables me as the interviewer to determine if the candidate responds accurately and in line with the questions on the questionnaire and application form. If I choose this method, the candidate's response is reliable since it needs time to ponder and reply quickly without seeking a solution because the interview session will finish after all questions have been answered. The candidate's chances of answering all questions are improved. Let's move on to point number 3, which is how to ensure there is no mistake during the interview. To prevent interviewing blunders, it is important not to judge the candidate only on the basis of their initial impression or resume. This will result in the loss of an exceptional applicant who will prove to be an invaluable contribution to the organization. The candidate deserves an opportunity to establish their eligibility for the position, and I owe it to the candidate to evaluate all relevant criteria and remain objective. As an interviewer, I must maintain a professional manner and stay unbiased during the interview process, regardless of the candidate's physical attractiveness or appealing personality. If I fail to maintain a professionalism throughout the interview and ask irrelevant questions, I will lack the knowledge essential to evaluate the candidate's credential and skills to determine their eligibility for the position. Additionally, I must avoid being too talkative and since this will detract from the interview's purpose of extracting information about the candidate and will leave the candidate with less time to reply to all questions. Now we move on to the last point, which is how to ensure there will be no issue of nepotism and discrimination. To eliminate nepotism, our firm must have an active anti-nepotism policy. This policy should be published in the employee handbook to inform employees that the firm has strict anti-nepotism laws that prohibit employees from working in the same department or company as family members. This policy will ensure that none of the company's workers are involved in nepotism. If any workers violate the policy, the firm firm can take measures to prevent nepotism from spreading inside the organization. The nepotism policy should be incorporated in leadership training to raise managers' knowledge of the dangers of nepotism and to motivate them to take action to prevent it. Following that, we must establish an open, communicative recruiting and promotion culture inside the business. It significantly contributes to organization, confidence, and unity because we reveal the method by which new recruits are picked, and it is not handled in a secret manner that creates worry and suspicion. Following that, we'll discuss ways to prevent prejudice within the company. Given the diversity of our country's races, religions, language, and cultures, it is critical to avoid discriminating against employees on the basis of those categories. As this is a delicate subject, this might result in issues with communication and the work environment inside the organization. Our organization may lose valuable personnel as a result of these discriminatory practices. As the interviewer, I must refrain from asking inquiries about protected characteristics prior to making an offer of employment, such as whether the candidate is a woman expecting to have children in the future. I need to be fair and provide all candidates an equal opportunity during the interview so that there are no discrimination concerns that impact the choice to hire a new employee or award a promotion to existing employees. That's all from me. Thank you. Any question from all of you?
Miss Misha, what medium you use for virtual interview? Either Google Meet, Zoom meeting, or others?
Thank you, Miss Wani, for the question. I'm going to utilize Google Meet for the virtual interview because it's simple to use and has a lot of options. Additionally, the Google Meet has excellent audio and graphic, which may aid in the interview success. That's all from me. Thank you.
Yes, I think this medium are very useful because it have low troubleshooting, right? However, I hope the line and internet connection will be in an excellent condition during the interview. All right, so the last one is my part. I'm going to share with all of you about hiring step to the selected candidates. Alright. Alright, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, Miss Wani.
Alright. So as you can see, this is a sample of our company Ehkia Sedian Berhad job offer letter. This job offer letter I will send via email. After welcoming the selected candidate, I will attach to a terms and conditions or the contract of service so that the candidate can refer. And I already set the date, which is 6 October 2021. However, I still open the dates for the candidate so we can mutually agree and he or she must do a report to me. Also, I hope the selected candidate can give me last response by 4th October 2021. If not, so the job position will be passed to another potential candidate. So I hope the selected candidate will know this is the contact number. Either he or she can contact me via email or phone number. All right, next I will go to contract of service. So, all right, there are two pages here. All right, for the contract of service, the selected candidate must write down the dates he or she signed. So, moving forward to number one, the selected candidate must know the following responsibilities, such as for product development executive, he or she must oversee research for new products, product enhancement, and makes recommendations on the potential and practicality of product. So she must perform by doing these responsibilities and performance of duties. The selected candidate must be in a good manner, loyal faith, and be the best of the best in employee skills. So the number three is term. The term is at will, so that employee will not be terminated or resign until specified reason given, and there is no probation period for employee. So after review and researching the product development executive position compensation, I agree to put a base salary which is RM 2,900 per month and extra benefits which is allowance given which is RM 300. So the total candidate will receive is RM 3,200. So the new employee must working like normal working hours and starting from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. for less than 44 hours per week, including meal time, which is our meal time 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Right, and lastly is about holiday and paid annual leave. So for the public holiday, employee can eligible for holiday such as the coronation of Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah, and the next is annual leave, which is employees are entitled to paid annual leave, but it's depend on how long he working at this company. Depends on the period. For example, if the employee work for 1 until 2 years, so the eligible leave is only 8 days per year, and 2 until 5 years only 12 days per year. So if less than 12 months he working at this company, it's if he absent without reasonable or permission, so it will have a percentage demerit of working time. And then for the sick leave, also it depends on the duration of employment. If he has working for 1 until 2 years, it's only 14 days, and 18 days will be given if he is employed 2 until 5 years. But I hope the illness should be confirmed by the medical practitioner, medical officer, or dental surgeon. So the MC letter will be confirmed or signed by the medical officer. So employees on sick leave during 48 hours after commencement will be deemed absent from work without reasonable excuse. And then for the maternity leave, she is eligible for maternity leave because the law also provide paid leave entitlements to women in connection with pregnancy. And for private sector, it has been entitled the total of 60 consecutive days, while public, as we know, entitled to 90 days. Alright, for the lastly, optional unpaid leave entitlement. So if the employee's families or relative have passed away, so it will be eligible for unpaid leave about 1 until 3 days. The compassionate means if their siblings want to go pursue study on abroad, so it will he want to take a leave, so he eligible for maximum 3 days. And if he want to marriage leave, so it only 1 until 3 days. And if the employee want to persuade the study, so it must subject to employer's approval. Alright, so this is done of contract of service. So next, I will share the employee induction program checklist. So as we know, after the new employee is recruited, the line manager is responsible for do employee induction program. So the purpose of an induction program is to help employees settle into their position at a new company, business, or organization. to ensure the induction program is successful, so I create a checklist that specifies all the documents and info to new employee will receive on the first day of their job. So example, the checklist should cover, for example, employee handbook, briefing, the job description, the roster of work schedule, work health and safety information, and also there are overview of upcoming key dates and events. Moving forward to the induction program. Okay, so we will conduct the induction program 4 days from day 1 to day 4. So this is the first day, 6 October 2021, on the first working. So the morning session, it will have introduction to the department and work area. So the suggested content with this mission, vision, objective of work area, how the work area fits into the wider department. So they are taking about 3 hours and lunch break. And then for the evening, for the afternoon session, introduction to other members, and then go through organization chart, discuss roles, and then 3:20 p.m. until 5 p.m. evening session, introduction to the other department within the work area. Alright, so the next day, the second day is 7 October. Also, the morning session, it will had a review the terms of conditions or contract of service, is to ensure new start has viewed and understood information contained in the information of new employees, and lunch break. And then we have for afternoon performance standards, outline specific of job role, define goals, objective and expectation. So lastly, on the second day, there are evening session, which is we want to know the culture of the work area. So we want to make a new start aware of local arrangement regarding hours of work, holiday requests, so other company procedures about internet and email usage, about parking. Alright, the following third day, 8 October, we will start 30 minutes earlier about office system session because it's take about a long duration to learn, which is review processes for using office equipment, for example, fax, printer, and then we learn how to using other company equipment, reading room, open access, computer security, software usage, and also we provide a beneficial of environmental efficiency, and then lunch break, and for the afternoon job specific training and development, which is role specific development needs should be reviewed, and staff with line management responsibility should be clear as to their duties and attend any relevant training. So for the evening, outline the use of annual performance for the evening session and development reviews as one method for determining. And we also introduce company-wide training and development opportunities available to staff. So on the fourth day, the last day of induction program, starting morning session, we provide a health and safety program, which is we want to know and learn about fire exits, fire alarms, fire evacuation procedure, fire training, manual handling, and first aid. And then we will lunch break. For the afternoon, we want to monitoring and evaluation is like a controlling part. So induction program is monitor and review. So throughout the period, regular review meeting should be held and any adjustment made. We also provide employee feedback form. We want to know what their comment, what the new employee comment, so that we can fix to the next induction program, and it must should be guided by sample templates to support this process, which is checklists and evaluations. So the for closing ceremony on the evening, We will creating and showing a message video from CEO of our company, Ekia Sdn Berhad, as a welcome and wishes for new employees starting. And also we have a talk with a human resource director of Ekia Sdn Berhad, and also the last one, we want to know what is a new employee's wishes after recruiting, after got this job position. So this is the end of induction program. Alright, I will stop sharing. Okay. So do you have any questions? It might help if you can give your ideas on this hiring process too.
So far, we don't have any questions.
Yes.
Every information is clear, crystal clear. Thank you, Miss.
Me too. Do you have any questions to ask?
I don't have also any question to ask.
Alright, Alhamdulillah, we have reached at the end of our meeting. I hope everything is clear as a crystal. However, if you have any question or confused on the some things, you can personally text me or the rest of team. So I wish you all the best on the recruiting process, and may Allah bless you on everything you do. Hope to see you soon. You may dismiss the meeting.
Assalamualaikum and hello, Miss Kasih Alisha.
Waalaikumsalam and hello Miss Misha. A very good afternoon.
A very good afternoon. I'm Miss MISYA and HR officer, and I'm responsible for interviewing the candidates for the internet connection. And can you hear my voice clearly?
Your internet connection is stable and I can hear your voice clearly, Miss Misha.
Okay, thank you, Kasih Alisha. Kasih Alisha, the purpose of the interview today is I can find out a little bit more about you in order to decide to a point. I have prepared some questions. Some of the questions are about you, so you should be able to answer them, and I will be assessing against the element on the person specification, and at the end of the interview, I will give you an opportunity to ask me questions.
That's very clear. Thank you, Miss Misha.
You're welcome, Kasih Alisha. So let's move on to the first question. For the first question, can you please tell me about yourself?
Sure, I do be glad to. Name given is Kasih Alisha binti Akmal. I am an marketing executive for up 2 years to now. I'm graduated from Code University of Applied Science, where I made the bachelor's degree in arts in product management on 2014 with a major in business administration and a minor arts. After that, I first got into the industry working as an social media manager at Blush and Blum Cosmetics. There, I gather and analyze data to products, handle companies' official social media accounts. I decided to pursue my study to Infrastructure University Kuala Lumpur, and I got graduated on 2021 with a master's degree in integrated marketing communications. After that, I got a work as marketing executive at company Strategia Branding. There, I provided clerical support with interdepartmental communication, oversees companies' digital marketing strategies, and manage day-to-day admin operations. In my downtime, I enjoy reading about marketing research, techniques, and finding some quick points on sales boosting to provide to people in my social media account.
That's brilliant, Kasih Alisha. Now let's move on to the next question. Why do you feel you're a fit for this position?
I'm fit for this position because I can see that in this role, my interpersonal skills will help solve this enhancement problem within your company. I also see an opportunity for me to learn and grow these development skills. So we both will benefit personally, professionally, and financially. If I can come in here and solve problems and accomplish your goals, I know I can develop my career the way that I want to. And this job is only 5 minutes from my house, so eliminating the commute it is a big plus.
Thank you for the answer, Kasih Alisha. Now let's move on to the next question. I noticed that you have an interpersonal communication skills. So what if you're assigned a critical task, but your team members are unable to collaborate effectively with you? How do you overcome an obstacle?
Well, I believe communication is an extremely important, especially in our work. Firstly, I want to improving communication. To help my group communicate effectively, I will encourage group members to clarify anything they don't understand, ask questions instead of making accusations, make requests instead of demands, and express their views as opinions instead of facts. And to resolve a conflict, encourage group members to respect and acknowledge others' ideas. Also, consider how they can improve their communication. Also, work through the cause of the conflict as a group and understand that working in a team may require negotiation and compromise. So, when working in groups, everyone should have an opportunity to contribute ideas. If one group member is dominating group discussions, it may help to create time limits for individual contributions and ensure that each member has a chance to speak without interruption.
That's brilliant, Kasih Alisha. Thank you. Now let's move on to the next question. What were aspects of your previous role that you most enjoyed?
I am definitely enjoy my previous role because people care about me as a person and about my professional growth. There is a genuine spirit of cooperation and shared goals, all revolving around helping the customer. So the variability of my job is what gets me up in the morning. We provide professional services to trade associations and membership societies, and I am able to contribute my experience and skills in marketing, social media, public relations, management, strategy, and design to a wide variety of clients because each project presents unique challenge.
Thank you, Kasih Alisha. And that's really a brilliant answer. Now let's move on to the next question. In your resume, I see that you are very familiar with the information system technology that help you create website, digital advertising, social marketing, and content development. Please explain the role of testing in software development.
Software testing comes into play at different times in different software development methodologies. There are two main methodologies in software development, so namely waterfall and agile. In a traditional waterfall software development model, requirements are gathered first. Then, a specification document is created based on the document which drive the design and development of the software. And finally, the testers conduct the testing at the end of the software development life cycle once the complete software system is built. An agile software development model works in small iterations. So you test the software in parallel as it is getting built. The developers build a small functionality according to the requirements. So the tester tests it and get customer feedback, which drive future development.
Okay, now next, move on to the next question. How can you categorize the digital marketing?
The digital marketing or communication is categorized into two segments: inbound marketing, which is these techniques takes the help of social media, the digital content in ebooks, webinars, or e-newsletter to increase the number of clicks on links and learn more about a company and its services. While outbound marketing, this segment includes placing ads, cold calls, emails, or reach out potential customers through digital mediums.
Okay, thank you for the answer. And now let's move on to the next question. What makes a good color scheme? Can you explain some common example for the website making?
Certain color schemes are more appealing to the human brain because we look for harmony and order. So the three main schemes are monochromatic, analogous, and complementary. Monochromatic uses a different hues of the same theme and is great for foreground and background color, while analogous uses colors that sit next to each other on the color wheel like blue and green. It works well for elements next to each other. So complementary uses colors on opposite sides of the color wheel like orange and purple. So these colors normally contrast well.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Kasih Alisha. Now I'm going to test you on your Mandarin language skills. Are you ready, Kasih Alisha?
I'm ready, Miss Misha.
假期你想去哪个国家旅游？
我想去中国旅游。
你带什么去旅游？
我在行李和护照去旅游。
Okay, that's the end of our interview question. So thank you, Kasih Alisha. I think that's the end of our question now. And as I promised, do you have any questions for me?
For now, I don't have any question, Miss Misha.
Thank you, Kasih Alisha, for attending this virtual interview. I obviously got all the information required, so I was hoping to ring the successful candidate tomorrow. Which would be the best number to get you on? Is that your work or mobile number?
The mobile number will be better one, but if I don't answer, then I will be able to call you back.
Okay, I totally understand. Thank you for attending this virtual interview.
Most welcome, Miss Misha.